Has democracy been pushed to the brink of lawlessness? That's exactly the question that many asked after the Hyderabad encounter. Some called it choreography of events. But the fact of the matter is, if you hear the voices on the street, then many would say that we want instant justice. That's what India has been demanding for. Let's open up this for a debate now. Anila Singh from the BJP joining us from New Delhi. You have Shantanu Gupta, political analyst, also joining us from New Delhi. And then Gunja Kapoor, who is right now in the studio, political analyst. Brinda, an activist, joining us from Bangalore. And then you have Mishika Singh, lawyer, activist, joining us from the Delhi studio. And Purnima Advani, the former chairperson, NCW, live from Mumbai. Let me open up this debate first with Gunja and Mishika. Gunja, many would say that what you're looking at is broken system of justice, and that's the reason why on the street people are asking for instant justice, something that hasn't really gone down well, at least with the human rights lobby.
So this is an age-old debate. I think it's a civilization, it's a cultural debate that India's always had right from the times of Mahabharata. So I'm not going to say that this is complete breakdown of justice. These are reactions, these are emotions that overflow at dire times, and these are dire times. I don't think the system's as broken as what we make it out to be.
I'll just interrupt you for a bit. Sorry to interrupt you, because we're sitting in some live visuals right now. This is from the Safdarjung hospital, where we get to understand that the mortal remains of the rape victim is now being taken. This is actually in Unnao. They've reached Unnao, and we are being given to understand that family members have also accompanied the 23-year-old Unnao rape victim. Now, this in itself, Gunja, many would say that why shouldn't? Because you heard the father of the Unnao rape victim actually saying that I want Hyderabad-like justice. That's the sentiment right now, at least on the streets of our country.
Yes, so as I just mentioned before that, these are dire times and people want justice. I don't think the system's broken. I think the system needs to stop foot dragging.
I think I'll want to...
The system needs to speed up, but the system's not broken.
In my opinion, I think there's a complete breakdown of system. All the human rights activists who are standing against what happened, it's not about whether the encounter was faked or not faked, whether it was staged or not. We're focusing on the wrong issue, maybe or not the main issue. We've sidelined and we're not focusing on the fact there's an absolute breakdown. Whoever came down on the streets when the rape case happened in 2012 came down to demand an efficient system. But what has happened right now is not an efficient system.
No. You know what the problem is? We focus too much on punishing the rapists than asking for justice.
Mishika, but it's a catch-22 situation. Gunja, let me just add to this, because it's a catch-22 situation. Let's take, for example, what happened in Hyderabad. Now, if the accused would have actually managed to give the police a slip, then you would have said police is inefficient. When the police actually goes ahead with an encounter, you would say that the system is broken.
Okay, so
exactly why I say the system is not broken. The police is efficient. And they were able to encounter those who were trying to run away.
Let Mishika just respond quickly and come back.
I'm saying that as a media channel, you're able to access evidence. I find it very hard to believe that police couldn't have even done the basic thing. I understand that police sensitization is not there. They're not doing their job efficiently. That's definitely there. But that's also because there are not enough policemen. That's something that the politicians, when all these parties are coming together, photo ops, maybe they can come together to look at prevention.
Let's also give others a chance here. Anila Singh, I'll take this question to you, because there is some serious questions with regards to the Uttar Pradesh police, and Republic TV has completely exposed this Uttar Pradesh police, because A, there is a delay as far as the FIR that was registered. B, look at the way you are treating those 5 rape accused inside the jail. Republic TV has got you those visuals where they are now sipping tea, and then you have also some sort of contradiction that is emerging right now. What exactly is the government doing?
But these are prison laws, Shravan. People in prison are served.
I'll come to that, but I'm not only talking about the sipping tea, but I'm talking about now. What about delay of FIR? What about the fact that the rape victim was basically asked to go from one police station to the other? when there is a zero
I will
FIR
answer.
concept in
Reality
place,
more-
why was the rape victim asked to go from one police station to the other?
It's happening everywhere. It's happening in Delhi as well.
No, but
Anila, if you can hear me, this question is for you.
Reply, please. Yes, absolutely. I agree with you. I agree with you. When this girl went to police station, I mean, she went to Unnao police station, then she went to, Lalganj police station of Rai Bareilly and Bihar police station of Unnao. I mean, these police stations, they refused to file FIR. This is the fact, and I can't deny. And I'm not going to sit here and advocate for the police. This was one of the major, I'll say, lapse on their part. They gave time to these boys. And I can say that somehow they got the courage as well, that police is on their side. They are not registering the FIR. Then, because of the judicial intervention, she got the FIR lodged. And then the action started, and it led to, you know very well that what happened. So definitely, where the lapses, I am not going to miss my word.
Here,
that was, there is a problem with some of the police persons.
Anila, I think the problem is...
Just give me 10 more seconds. Let me complete, please.
Okay, go ahead. Make your comment and I'll get in Brinda.
I am answering, yes, please. All right.
Okay,
so
go
I
ahead.
am answering that yes, police was not up to the mark. Or I'll say they totally missed the mark. And if I talk about Yogi Adityanath ji as the Chief Minister of Uttar Pradesh, UP is my home state. So I very well know that what type of government used to reign here in Uttar Pradesh. I mean, criminals, they were, you know, whole of the UP was infested by criminals. He is trying to reduce the criminals and crime in this state. But definitely, if any heinous crime happens, we all feel very sad about it, and that crime shouldn't have happened. But saying that Yogi Adityanath ji is not trying to control crime in the state, that will be unfair.
Brinda, do you think this is enough? An admission that, okay, police may have missed the mark. I'm not going to justify for the police. But at the end of the day, a 23-year-old has lost her life. And all because of what? Look at what really has happened. 2018, she was raped. 2019, one of the accused still was on the run. One accused gets out on bail. And then when she's going to the court, she's set ablaze. And now you have the government simply saying that, look here, the police may have made a mistake, Brinda.
I cannot understand how Anila ji and all of them sit there actually making platitudes and lip service and saying that we are so benevolent. We've admitted there is a breakdown of law. Admit that. There is no governance. Admit that. The police have been high-handed and they have got complete tacit and overt
Brinda,
support from
if you had
politicians.
been-
In this particular
No, 1
case,
second.
I did not
Let's swap
interrupt.
places. What would
I
you
did
do?
not interrupt. Let me have my say.
don't have any
No,
knowledge
sorry.
of-
Sorry, you please
Brinda,
let
go
me
ahead,
have
go
my
ahead.
10 seconds.
Gunja, let's have a
let
sane
me have
debate
my
here.
10
Brinda,
seconds.
go ahead. No one is going to interrupt you. Go ahead. Go ahead. You'll get your 10 seconds. Go ahead.
Yes.
Go ahead, Brinda. Make your
The
comment.
victim went to the police station. The FIR was not filed. The victim already went back again and again to say that these rapists and murderers are threatening her and threatening her on Facebook too, not just in person but in public. Can you imagine the impunity? Why no suo motu action was taken? This MLA, Kuldeep Sengar, has been involved in this. And you have allowed him to get bail. So why are we not holding that judge and magistrate responsible? Can he absolve himself and say, but nobody opposed the bail? Why will anybody oppose the
Brinda,
bail?
you've made your point. Brinda, you've made your point. Let's get the others in also. Anil, I'll come to you. Shantanu Gupta. Brinda, you've made your point. Brinda, you've made your point. I've given you the opportunity. Let me get in Shantanu Gupta also. Shantanu Gupta. Breakdown of law. Breakdown of law. This is what people are saying now.
Perhaps she doesn't know that what is happening in Uttar Pradesh.
Don't you correct yourself.
Kuldeep Sengar is not
You correct yourself. You were talking
Sengar.
two days
it's
ago
your job
about
to
Telangana
it's your
CM
job
not coming
to
up.
protect the
Why
government,
did
not
you
mine.
CM not come out and talk?
My name is Shantanu.
You should get your knowledge updated.
Madam,
Shantanu
my name is
Gupta.
Shantanu.
Anila, just hold on. Let me get it, Shantanu. Let me give a chance to Shantanu. He's been waiting for a while. Shantanu Gupta, breakdown of law. Breakdown of law. And the fact is that you still have parliamentarians like Sakshi Maharaj, who actually goes to Twitter and says, "Happy birthday, Kuldeep Sengar," a man who's been accused of rape. Then you have the same man, Sakshi Maharaj, actually going to the jail and going and meeting Kuldeep Sengar, and then he's now preaching.
See, in last 3 months and in fact in last year, we have seen heinous crimes of rapes and murder after that in Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh, Telangana, West Bengal, Uttar Pradesh. Some travel to your studio, some don't. I think today I'll request to all the panelists, let's not label it. Let's not label it BJP Congress, let's not label it Uttar Pradesh, Kerala, let's not label it Hindu Muslim. I think that's the problem, because we label it and the discussion ends there. We have to see. We have seen the charge sheet rate by police in all these cases 80 to 85%, but the conviction rate is only 25 to 30%. In the fear of contempt of court, we don't even talk about what are the courts doing. Justice Bobde had a problem with the encounter that had happened in Hyderabad. Even I have a problem. The justice should be done. But Justice Bobde doesn't, CGI Bobde doesn't have a problem with 60,000 cases in Supreme Court. So why can't we talk about the instant justice that should be done in the courts? Otherwise, people will cheer up police if they take encounters. I think it's all the panelists, let's offer solutions. We all know the problems. You will name one MP, I will tell 3 MPs.
It's a fantastic point that you're making. Yeah.
That's not the solution. We will all score TRPs and retweets.
We are absolutely on the same page when
there's no solution.
Shantanu Gupta, I think so. We are absolutely on the same page when it comes to the fact that we shouldn't be politicizing the matter. But it's for the Netas to understand that, because the Netas don't. At the end of the day, you had a Priyanka Gandhi Vadra actually going to Unnao and saying that the Gram Pradhan is actually related to the BJP. Go and find out. That is what is happening. Politicizing does take place. But yeah, you're talking about what should be done. Figures. Ladies and gentlemen, there are certain figures that everyone, the nation, needs to know. And that's exactly what Shantanu Gupta was also talking about. When you're looking about 128,000 cases before our courts, these are rape cases that are pending. We're talking about Nirbhaya fund that every state gets, that remains unutilized. You're talking about conviction rates, which is just about 32%. Then yes, question will be asked. Let me go across to Purnima Advani, who's the former chairperson of NCW. Purnima Advani, today we're looking at, many would say, a breakdown of justice, but at the same time, when you're looking at an encounter like what we saw in Hyderabad, some say that at least there is some amount of closure, at least there is some justice that we are looking at. Why look at what happened in Shakti Mill's gang rape, and look at what is the current situation, look at what is happening in Nirbhaya's case. And that's the reason why people are calling for some instant justice.
So let me address this in two parts. So far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, we are talking about breakdown of law and order today. But Uttar Pradesh has consistently posed a problem to us. I remember the time when I was chairing the National Commission for Women. There was a rape of a 3-month-old child in Lakhimpur. I had brought that child from the KG Medical College, Lucknow, to Apollo Hospital for treatment. Also, so far as Uttar Pradesh is concerned, I distinctly remember on 24th of December, Christmas Eve night, I had walked into the police station of the Crime Against Women cell, which is just bang opposite the central, in central Lucknow, opposite the church. And can you imagine, the police officers were fast asleep over there. It was barely around 11:30 at night. And they said, हम क्या करें? सोएंगे नहीं तो क्या करें? सुबह को होगा तब देखेंगे क्या है? So they are just not bothered. There is no training. There has been a consistent disruption of law and order so far as some of the states of our country are concerned, and Uttar Pradesh being one of them. Having said that, there can be no excuse to what has happened. It is completely condemnable, and this is all a result of years and years of laboring to say that justice must be done. It should be in fast-track courts, especially in rape cases. Nothing has happened. Years and years pass by. I am, however, not in favor of killing happening in encounters and thereby saying that this is justice. That's not justice. It has to be delivered by the court. If we start taking law in our own hands, we are going back to the archaic times, which says eye for eye, tooth for tooth, and life for life. You took away my eye, I'll take away your eye. If this is allowed in a civilized society, no longer can we call ourselves civilized. It's also extremely pathetic to hear parliamentarians on the floor of the House, where they should be debating and discussing how to improve the working of the police cells, how to ensure that there should be crimes against women cells which are efficient. Can you imagine when the state of Uttarakhand was separated from Uttar Pradesh? There was no forensic laboratory in the state of Uttarakhand for years on end. I mean, what are we talking about? And that has been completely ignored. We are looking at Unnao in areas like Pithoragarh and all in Uttarakhand. There are women who are raped. There is no police station nearby where you go and complain. So I think this is something where a holistic action is absolutely necessary. It would be pathetic, detrimental if we bring politics into it. That has to be kept completely aside. It's the woman who is the center point.
Purnima Advani, there is absolutely no doubt about the fact that today the entire system has failed when it comes to the Unnao victims case. And we'll debate this on the other side of this short break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with Republic TV. We continue the debate as far as what really has gone wrong, because today it is certainly a shameful day when a 23-year-old has actually lost her life. And why? Because the system at the end of the day failed her. Let me go across to Gunja Kapoor, who's been somewhere down the line actually trying to say that things have certainly improved, be it in the case of Uttar Pradesh. And Gunja Kapoor, I'll read out some facts for you and then you respond to that. Statistics, that too from the NCRB, which says with regards to Uttar Pradesh, it has recorded maximum number of crimes against women, that is 56,000 cases. After that, you have Madhya Pradesh. But as I said, we're not trying to politicize the matter, but the fact of the matter is that something has really gone wrong. Otherwise, we wouldn't have seen what has happened in the case of the Unnao victim, the 23-year-old woman who actually was on her way, that too for her own case.
There are two things. One, of course, as you know, Ms. Advani was saying that yes, UP has had its share of problems, in fact, a huge share of problems. And a lot of it has to do with the historical political canvas of Uttar Pradesh, which encouraged such activities by saying ladkon se galtiyan ho jati hain. There was a time when such things were actually encouraged, overlooked, or in fact just abetted, for the lack of a better word. However, now, okay, it takes time, right? These are social problems, these are long-term issues. You cannot overnight change a state when it has been under a particular establishment or a mentality.
Gunja, no one is saying that overnight. Fair enough, nothing changes overnight, I agree.
Correct.
But, you know, promises like we'll get you fast-track courts, 1,023 fast-track courts are yet to be set up.
What happened in Sonbhadra, for example? Did the CM not take the matter in his own hands and ensured that there was no further violence? What happened in...
Mishika, respond to what Gunja Kapoor is saying.
When we talk about social changes, there are changes that we can have overnight. We can have dedicated courts only looking at rape cases.
So what you're talking about is judicial reforms, Mishika.
No, but
what you're talking about is judicial reforms.
We also need state intervention, the police to be sensitized.
So when you talk about judicial reforms, yes, the police certainly... And of course, the police has messed it up.
No, so
there are no two ways about it.
When you said that it's not a change that you can bring about overnight, I don't agree with
what I'm saying is that law and order situation has only improved. It's not gone downhill in the past few years.
Definitely, I don't.
So you know, when Brinda Adige says that, okay, you know what, UP is running, is a lawless state and it's a mob mentality running out there. No, Brinda, that's not true.
Okay, Gunja, tell me overnight.
Let me get in Brinda because she's referring to Brinda.
Just 1 second. Yeah. Overnight, you can get an anti-Romeo squad, but you can't get people.
No, 1 second. Anti-Romeo squad came and it was people who were actually masquerading yesterday as human rights activists, but actually sympathizing with the actual rapists. Came out and said, no, this is curbing our freedom.
The problem is that we don't look at these issues.
No, you are damned if you do. You are damned if you don't do. This is the problem.
What?
You are damned if you do. You are damned if you don't do. This is the problem. Now everyone is...
Who's doing what? No one's doing anything.
Remember the hilarious memes, the condemnable comments that came out where it was said that Yogi Adityanath is trying to curb people's freedom.
If the government is saying that we can't do anything overnight, it's not doing its job. If you can't do anything overnight, you fail as a system. That's all that I have to say.
Brinda, if I can bring you in, because Gunja Kapoor essentially is also trying to say that, look here, these are social problems and it takes some amount of time. It can't change overnight. Now, one would say that, well, it could be a fair statement to begin with, but, this has happened many a times, but every time there is outrage out on the streets, and then there have been promises that have been made by our governments, irrespective of political parties, but the fact is that every government has come to power and every government has actually made certain promises which have not been fulfilled, and that's why we are staring at these number of cases, then fast-track courts which never took place, which have never been set up.
Do not trivialize by saying that these are social problems. No, this is a law and order issue. Not only UP, we are talking about across India. And let's place on record that even today, 7 decades down independence, there is such a strong nexus between the politicians and the police. Where are the police reforms? How many times commissions have been set and police reforms haven't happened? Even today, the police continue to treat the citizens of India, especially children and women, as slaves. Their colonial mentality has not gone. We are not asking for that accountability. Training and sensitization is not enough. Is not enough. Please tell me how many policemen or women have been pulled up for dereliction of duty? Where is that logical conclusion that we have brought to this case when a police officer has done abused power? We haven't. Please tell me how many vacancies we have filled up. You know the kind of prosecution that we have. You look at the judiciary, we hold them, as lords and gods and never question why are so many acquittals happening. My state, Karnataka, has over 52% of acquittals in POCSO cases. When you know the POCSO law says do not give bail within 2 days to 1 week, you are giving them bail. It is the same that happened in the Unnao case.
This is very interesting when you're talking about bail also. Punja, I'll come to you. I'll come to you. But let me bring in Anila Singh. Anila Singh, when this entire incident of Unnao actually took place, questions were basically raised as far as those 2 rape accused are concerned. One of them was actually on the run. The other person was arrested. He was let off on bail. Questions were basically raised as to whether at all the police did actually oppose his bail or not. In fact, the state DGP on that very day said that, I don't know, I think the local police may have opposed the bail. Questions would be raised again and again. Anila, this is not about making it political, but the fact of the matter is that was the Uttar Pradesh police really serious about it? Because a rape accused was on the run for many months.
Shravan, I'll respond. See, let us understand one thing very clearly. Whenever I sit on panel and whenever I come across social activists or the politicians or the panelists who keep on shaming police, I feel very disturbed. I feel disturbed because you are judging whole lot of police force working in any state by you're watching it by one eye only. You are simply doing cruelty, I will say, not injustice, cruelty to all those police people who are doing their duty dedicatedly. So if because of few police personnel something happens, you cannot say that police is not doing its job. There is a total breakdown. That is a huge insult. That's a huge insult for the police. I mean, I will say it in a very humble way. But I was surprised and shocked when Brinda, she didn't know that where is Kuldeep Sengar, how this girl who was burned 2 days back, how she is related to Kuldeep Sengar. She just knew one thing, Unnao, and she thought that this case is related to Kuldeep Singh Sengar. He is out on bail and he got this girl burnt down. I mean, she is not very well aware that what the case is exactly. So but that Anila, is the problem.
There are 2 images.
Politicians in Unnao,
I completely agree.
I mean, they are making
I completely agree that
Priyanka Gandhi
shaming the police.
She doesn't. We don't
no,
see.
I'm not saying that shaming the police is the right thing to do, Anila. You're getting me wrong. There are 2 images. On the one side, you've seen Cyberabad police when the encounter actually took place. In fact, our editor-in-chief last night made this point very clear that it doesn't matter what the human rights lobby are constantly questioning, and it's a fact of the matter that if they would have let off those accused, then you would have actually shamed that Cyberabad police, that same Cyberabad police who did a fantastic job. In less than 24 hours, you had all the accused behind bars. So yes, You need to praise where it is required. And yes, Hyderabad police should be
Shravan,
praised. But at the
you
same time,
please
I'm saying
understand, you
that
allow
as far
me.
as Uttar Pradesh police is concerned, questions will be raised time and again. Questions will be raised. Republic TV has exposed them
police
also.
force in Uttar Pradesh, they are not working. Because of the couple of police persons who did not do their job properly, you cannot say that a state...
Where is the action? No,
a state
Anila.
with a population of 2
Questions will be raised, no,
22
because there is
crores
no
of
action
people,
on the
you
ground.
cannot say that
Till now,
police is
have you
not
been able to
working
find out
properly. I'm
who's
not going to take it. If you are going... If
your
you have to ask me
parliamentarian,
any
your
question
parliamentarian
regarding
Rita
these,
Bahuguna
police
Joshi
persons of
earlier in the
these two
evening
police
said that
stations,
I
I'm okay.
suspect that
No.
someone has actually helped the accused in the police. But what action has been taken? What action has been taken? I'm not. Nowhere am I
See,
saying
this
that
is-
paint
Ashwin, at
the
least,
entire
I mean,
police
you
force
are-
with the same
you are
brush.
anchoring, you
But at the
allow me
same
to
time,
speak.
concrete
Why
action.
I am
What
here on
concrete
your
action have you
panel?
taken?
Shravan, why I am here on your panel?
Go
why
ahead.
I am here on your panel? I am here
Go
here
ahead,
to
I'm
tell
giving-
you what is happening in Uttar Pradesh. You have to listen to me. I am not saying
Go
I'm
ahead.
not questioning you.
Go
but
ahead,
when
go
the
ahead,
social
Anila.
activists who doesn't have any knowledge of Uttar Pradesh, when they start shaming police of Uttar Pradesh, then I have a whole lot of problem. This state, Uttar Pradesh, is the most populated state of our country, and police is working. I mean, because of fistful of police persons, you are saying that police is not working each and every... I mean, you are insulting police force of Uttar Pradesh. I'm not going to take that. I live in Uttar Pradesh. My home state is Uttar Pradesh. I know that how earlier police used to work. It has improved. Please give police an opportunity to work properly. The few of them who are not working properly, they will be punished.
Let me also allow Gunja is
But
making a...
आप उनसे पूछो ना जो फोटो खिंचवा रहे हैं अखिलेश यादव मायावती प्रियंका गांधी वाड्रा राहुल गांधी कहते हैं कि भारत जो है
पूर्णिमा-
वो विश्व का रेप कैपिटल बन गया है. Imagine Rahul Gandhi saying this
well,
thing.
that's a condemnable statement. When Rahul Gandhi say, when you can't run down the country by simply making sweeping statements. Anila, that's a fair point that you're making, that you can't have leaders making statements like rape capital of the world. There is a problem. But Purnima Advani, Anila saying also makes a very important point. Why always target the police?
Yes, but the point is that there has to be
I'll have a
systematic
quick
gender
I'll have a quick comment from
sensitization of the
both.
police.
Purnima, make a quick
And I
comment,
remember
please.
the
Talk
National
about that,
Commission for
please.
Women had the National Commission for Women. Allow me to complete my sentence. The National Commission for Women had made a clear recommendation in the annual confidential report of police officers. There must be a clause to say how gender sensitive is the police person. The annual confidential reports is the language where the police officers or any IS officer also understands. And this importance to gender sensitization must be there. You see, today when the Telangana police there was flack against them in all the television channels. Then they woke up to nab the accused, and then whatever encounter followed. But I think the Telangana police had completely failed the women in their state when they had not even set up a crime against women cell. They didn't know a word about what gender sensitization is. We had a 14-point very queer guidelines coming out to women and children saying that, listen, you please click the photograph of the car in which you enter, wear your clothes properly, do this, do that. It was all parenting and not policing, which was absurd. So it's only after the television channels picked it up, it's only after the parliamentarians raised the hue and cry, although I do not agree with what they stated in terms of public lynching, then they woke up to
Purnima,
start
I'm running out of time.
their action.
Purnima, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I'm really running out of time.
Yes.
I'll just give a quick last word to Shantanu Gupta because he hasn't spoken. Shantanu Gupta, these are valid points that have been raised by every panelist here, be it as far as the police is concerned. Questions will be raised if certain lapses do take place. In the case, as far as Unnao is concerned, there were lapses. Gunja, I'll give you, Shantanu, give a quick comment. Gunja, also make a quick comment after that. Shantanu, quick comment, please.
Yeah, surely I'm saying whatever lapses has happened, and police should be taken to task, but you have to see a state governance capacity historically. Uttar Pradesh has a low governance capacity historically. You can't compare Uttar Pradesh with the state from south, but you have to see what has changed incrementally in last 3 years, and that's why the investment is going there. You have to trace the money. so much investment is happening in UP because now the law and order is better than before. So if you want to take political, then compare statistics to statistics. You can't compare Uttar Pradesh to Karnataka. Karnataka under any government has a better governance than Uttar Pradesh under any government.
I was asking about the number of people recruited. 75,000 constables have been recruited. 4,000 sub-inspectors have been recruited, Brinda. And let me tell you one more thing. It has taken the state 72 years to get a police headquarter. Last and final point, in the first 4 months of the Yogi government, when there were a few encounters, it was these same human rights activists who said that Yogi Raj become encounter Raj.
Well,
so I don't know how you want the police.
I really don't have much
take
time.
10 seconds only about why police. The problem
There is a
why
systemic
we need to focus on
failure.
what's happening with the police is that's the first access
And
to justice.
we need to be
That's
accountable.
the first point of contact. The victim, the first place that they go to is the police. So that's why there is a need. Fine, we appreciate the police for doing what they're supposed to, but we have to take them to task to perform their duties diligently. That's the first access point. Don't tell a victim that, okay, we'll file the FIR in some time. Don't have these delays.
Well,
if there are delays, question those delays. Address that there is a problem with the
Thank you very much, Anila Singh, Shantanu Gupta, Gunja Kapoor, Brinda, Mishika, Purnima Advani, for at least putting this in perspective. Questions will be raised, but today India stands united. India demands justice, and there is a reason for it as to why people are seeking for instant justice, no matter how much people at the end of the day may raise questions about the fact that, as some pointed out, it's a brazen choreography of events as to what happened in Hyderabad. But at the end of the day, there is a large sentiment out on the streets today demanding instant justice.